Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 1 of Washington Probate TV. I'm your host, Christopher Small. I'm the owner of CMS Law Firm, and this is the internet's most passionate show about probate, as passionate as that can be. So, if you know me at all, I'm a lawyer here in Washington State. That's why we're doing Washington Probate. All the rules are different from state to state. So if you're watching this and you're from somewhere else, then you can pay attention. It'll kind of give you an idea of what's going on. But I would highly recommend that you reach out to an attorney in your state to make sure that you're following the rules correctly with regard to your state's laws, okay? Because they're all different. I have another show. It's called Estate Planning TV. And I decided to start the show because the two things are really quite different. I wanted to be able to focus on one topic for each show. And so this one's going to be all about probate. We do a lot of probates here at the office. I think they're very sort of just an important part of all of our lives. And I wanted to create a resource so that you could come and get some information for free. Particularly, you've just lost a loved one. You may not want to really talk to anybody right away. This can sort of give you some frame of reference, give you some information, sort of give you an idea of what the process and what everything is going to look like. So the idea is just come here every episode and talk a little bit about probate, touch on one topic. I'm going to try to build from like the basics into the more sort of complicated stuff. But a lot of times I also just talk about maybe an issue that's popped up in my office for the week. But the idea here, again, just to get you some information about probate, teach you a little bit, show you who I am, show you how fun we can be to work with, even though this is not exactly a super fun subject. But, part of what we try to do is give our clients a pain-free probate. Pain-free probate. It's hard to say now that I'm saying it out loud. But today, what I wanted to talk about in kind of this introductory episode is just really briefly kind of trying to talk about what probate is. A lot of people know that when someone dies, they may have to go through probate, but often they don't really know what that even means or what that entails. So today I wanted to kind of give you just a brief, broad, 10,000-foot view of what probate is so that you can have an idea of what you're facing if you are named personal representative of a loved one. If your loved one has just recently died and you're not sure what to do, this is sort of what is going to happen. Okay? So, what I'm going to talk about really applies whether you have a will or not. The specific, it's like kind of the intricacies might be a little bit different, but the overall process is going to kind of be the same. All right? So let's just start at the top. So, the first thing you're going to do when someone dies, if you need to do a probate, is you're going to file what's called a petition with the court. This petition is going to essentially let the court know that someone has died, that they have an estate, kind of generally what their assets and what their debts are. It's going to let them know whether or not there's a will. It's going to let them know whether or not anyone has been named as the personal representative or the executor of the estate. It's going to let the court know if the person is asking for non-intervention powers, which in Washington State basically just means that the court is not going to have a lot of oversight on the case. And we'll talk about that more. That's an entirely episode all to itself. But this is what the petition is going to say. It's basically going to ask the judge to order that the probate be opened, order that a personal representative be named, and basically get the process started. Okay? So the first thing you file is a petition, assuming that the judge signs the order, opens the probate, names the personal representative. Then the personal representative is going to sign an oath saying that they agree to follow the rules and be a good personal representative. You file that with the court. And then once that's filed, the court will issue what's called letters. Okay? The kind of letters that they are depend on whether or not you have a will or not. But again, not important for today. What these letters basically do is tell the world that you, the personal representative, are in charge of this estate. It gives you access to bank accounts. It allows you to sell and buy property. Basically, it allows you to accumulate debts and pay off debts and all that kind of stuff. It basically tells the world that you are in charge. Imagine that this estate that you're about to run is It's kind of like a business, and it has assets and it has things that need to be taken care of. You are now the CEO of these assets of this business. Okay, you're in charge. All right. Once that happens, once you're in charge, a couple different things start to happen. You, as the personal representative, you have to do what's called an inventory, right? So you have to figure out, okay, what is this estate all about? What kind of property is in here? You're right. Where's the money, if there is any? Then you also have to find out, okay, what are the debts that are owed? Part of that process is what's called a creditor claim period. You file some paperwork with the court. All your creditors have 4 months to basically send in something saying, hey, this person owes me money. Figure that out. And then once that 4-month period is up, you pay the debts, and then you start to distribute the assets. And as those assets are distributed, you get receipts from the heirs, from the people that receive the assets. They sign some other documents. And then if you have non-intervention powers, remember those powers that allow you to sort of do all of this without having to go to court all the time, then you just file some paperwork with the court that says the probate's all done. And as long as nobody raises their hand and says not so fast, then over the course of 30 days or so, the process is done. All right. So that is the super fast, super broad, super high view look at the probate process. Okay. I think maybe next time we'll talk a little bit about what when you might need to have a probate, when you might not need to have a probate. But what I will tell you before we leave is that I have a website that's devoted to all of this, where you can find a lot more information. You can find all the other episodes of Washington Probate TV, and that is at pain-free-probate.com. Okay, if you are someone that is potentially having to go through a probate for someone, and you'd like our help, or you'd just like to talk a little bit about it, feel free to call us 206-659-1512. You can email me, chris@cmslawfirm.com, and we'll talk to you. We'll see if we can help you, and if we can, we'd love to. If we can't, that's okay too, right? Part of why we're here is to really provide guidance, information, and then help the people that want us to help them, but then also give that kind of information to people that don't as well. I'm rambling now, right? Let's just get over that. That's it, I think. So I'm really excited about this show. This is a big part of what we do here at the firm, and I'm excited to talk more about it and teach you more about it, and hopefully help you through this process. All right, so that is it. I can't wait to see you next episode, and with that, I'll say goodbye. See ya.